also intent on maintaining our force protection because of the threats from ISIS were very real, very concerning. And so we did a number of things. We had overwhelming U.S. air power overhead should there have been any challenge to our departure. And again, there was absolutely no question we were not going to be challenged by the Taliban. If we were going to be challenged, it was going to be by ISIS.
That's General Kenneth McKenzie on America's withdrawal from Afghanistan. It comes 32 years after another world superpower left that country. The last Red Army tanks headed across the bridge into what is now Uzbekistan. That was in 1989, and the Afghanistan debacle for the Soviets is one of the few key events that brought about the fall of the Soviet Union. Congressman Mark Green of Tennessee flew a number of combat missions in Afghanistan, is a Special Forces flight surgeon, now sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, joins us now. Congressman, we appreciate it. We'll skip the hyperbole of the fall of the Soviet Empire versus the fall of the American Empire. But how do we recover, or can we recover, with our allies abroad after this?
Well, thanks for having me on, Leland. Yeah, I think we can. I mean, look, this is the nation that rebuilt the White House after the British burned it to the ground. This president has only burned the U.S. reputation to the ground. We will recover, but the thing we've got to do is get Democrats out of the White House. They're the ones who never see enemies. Carter, détente the Soviet Union. Clinton, run from Somalia. Obama and Biden, get out in 2011, let's create ISIS. And now this president wants to cut a deal with the Taliban. I mean, yeah, we'll rebuild it, but it's going to take getting Democrats out of the White House.
I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask it anyway. Is there anything he could say tomorrow that you would, A, think people abroad would believe, and B, you think could start help things?
No, I don't think President Biden can fix it now. I mean, he is seen as the president, the United States president, the first one in our history to abandon Americans to an enemy. And we're talking about a horrible enemy. The images today of a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter that we gave to, the Afghan army being used by the Taliban to hang a human being. Meanwhile, the CENTCOM commander out there calling them businesslike and pragmatic. We've got to get Joe Biden out of the White House. That's the only way we redeem our reputation globally.
It's interesting because if you watch cable news, even on the sort of more liberal networks, the far liberal networks, it is universal in the condemnation of the president's decisions, not necessarily to withdraw, but certainly how the withdrawal was handled. Are you surprised that none of these 3- and 4-star generals have been willing to resign their commissions over this in protest of some of these decisions, if they are indeed as awful as you and others describe them?
Well, I think some of those general officers were handpicked by the Obama administration, and they think the way Joe Biden thinks. Those that think the other way, that think there are real tigers in the world and that the DOD should be training to kill our enemies and when called upon, kill our enemies, those guys are just trying to save their jobs for the sake of America. Because all that person will, if they leave, they just get replaced with a Biden appointee. So, those guys are keeping their mouths shut so they can keep their jobs.
You talked about all of the U.S. equipment that was left behind by America, and here's why the White House said we shouldn't worry about that. Here's a look at the equipment, and then Jen Psaki today.
Is the U.S. more or less safe today than we were before the Taliban took over?
Well, again, we are not going to do anything that's going to allow terrorists to grow or prosper in Afghanistan or any terrorist organization. That continues to be the president's commitment.
If that's true, what do we have to worry about?
So these people, I've gotten intel reports from inside the camps, and I don't want to say which ones, but we know that some of the folks that are coming in have been infiltrated. So this State Department
Wait, hold on. I just want
suggesting
to unpack that. I just want to unpack that so we're clear about what we're talking about. You're saying that there are people who have been brought out from Afghanistan by the U.S. military who are Taliban, ISIS, Al-Qaeda plants.
I am getting calls from people whom I trust inside the DOD telling me that there are bad actors in these groups.
So that would mean essentially that the horses have left the barn. It doesn't matter sort of what we do in Afghanistan or how we attack it.
I think our number one now that we're out, our number one. I mean, we've got to get the Americans that are there out, right? That's our number one goal. But we have also got to make sure that every person we brought out of there is thoroughly screened and vetted before they come to the United States, and anyone we do bring to the United States gets vetted. You know, and the second thing, I mean, our southern border is so porous right now with this failed presidency. Afghanistan. You know, whatever happens in Afghanistan can come across our southern border.
And we certainly know folks are going everywhere, and it's been difficult to figure that out. Congressman, we appreciate you talking. Thank you very much, as always.
Thanks, Leland.
All right.
See you.
Good to see you. While troops are off the ground in Afghanistan, the administration is still under fire for the withdrawal and for the 13